Hey, this is Bill. I'm an expat. I'm the prepper that lives in the Philippines. Today I want to talk about problems with food storage. Okay? Everyone knows we need to store and stack food. That's a given, right? Especially with the food inflation and everything that's happening. But what people that probably don't have the space soon realize, where do you put all your food and how do you do it in such a way that it makes sense so that you can find the food when you want it or you can keep your stock rotated. So a couple things I want to talk about today that you might not be aware of. It's expensive, and I'm not talking the food. We know that's expensive. It's expensive to organize a good pantry. If you notice, I have metal shelves. Now, metal shelves have a lot of good uses for me. First of all, they don't introduce termites or anything else. They look good. They're adjustable very easily. So I can adjust my shelves as I see fit depending on what I'm putting on the shelves. And with that in mind, these shelves were not cheap, right? And if you look, these shelves go back too deep, right? So the shelves alone cost money. But if you don't have a good way to stack and see your food, you're going to be in a world of hurt if you're just putting it in boxes and stuff. The other thing is earthquakes. I live in the Philippines. Earthquakes happen. We had a good little rock and roll the other day. Nothing in my pantry fell anywhere, right? These shelves are mounted to the wall in the back, and in the front I put this plastic coated guide wires to keep them up. Well, you know, not just the time, the actual wire is expensive, but it's good for ever, right? It's a plastic coated stainless steel wire. So there's an expense people don't think about. Printing out these labels, the little printer was expensive. And you know what? It turned out it wasn't very good. And I'll tell you why in 2 seconds. So I have my work cut out for me. As I discussed earlier in this video, keeping track of your best by and expiration date on your products is time consuming, right? You know, if you don't want anything to get bad. And yes, I know best by date and expiration dates are all manufacturer driven data, and canned food and well prepared food does last a lot longer than advertised. However, what doesn't seem to last are my stickers. You can barely read this. It says soup mix beans October 24, but some of these stickers you can't even read anymore because the thermal ink expires. All right, go figure. The ink doesn't last near as long. So what I'm switching to is to these little magnetic ones where I can just pull it out and write the date on it. Now, I'm very lucky that I built shelves that were metal. Now that you saw that sticker print solution, I'll probably spend several hours sorting that out today, tomorrow, maybe the next day. But another thing that's expensive that's not food related is your storage containers. These food grade white buckets are not cheap, okay? And the clear buckets, which I actually like for a lot of my dry goods, and I do have some extras that came in. I ordered stock of both sizes. I like 2 different sizes depending on what I'm storing. Again, those aren't cheap. Now, if you want to know what's really expensive, are these great big heavy duty plastic storage bins that I use that have wheels. Now, these storage bins are for all the freeze-dried food that I make, okay? So these are not cheap as well. Now, you might sit there and go, wow, Bill, you got a great pantry, and thank you. Thank you. I do think I have a great pantry. But I'm out of space already. I am sitting there looking at my space, which is a pretty good-sized room, and I'm got to rearrange some stuff to start freeing up space. Obviously, I have free space, and I have a lot of areas where I can squeeze things. So I am going to be spending several hours redoing and removing things around because I don't have any more space yet. I'm going to keep stacking food. So besides the shelves, the plastic bins, now the reason for the bins should be obvious, but I want to state it if you don't know. Insects and rodents, okay? Now my pantry is on the 2nd floor of this building, and there's 2 reasons for that. The first one, this is where I had extra room. This is the space I had. But also, if there's a really horrible flood or anything that happens, well, I'm on the second floor. My food should be safe. And then the third reason is by being up on the second floor here, I avoid the potential for cockroaches, ants, insects, and rodents to make their way up here. Now, I have seen a mouse up here last year. One time, caught them. I have seen ants. I'm in the Philippines. Ants get around, but I haven't seen it in a while. And the other insects I've seen is, quite honestly, I had bought, and you could probably still see some dead insects eggs here if you look closely, because I haven't completely cleaned it up. But I had bought this food, and it had came with the bonus of insect eggs. Okay, I didn't ask for it, but I got them for free. Now those, I just haven't cleaned this up. When I move this fish around, I'll clean the cans, but I definitely sprayed and killed all that stuff. But it introduced little flying bugs into my pantry, and it pissed me off. So insects is why I have things in bins. Rodents is why I have things in bins. I have a lot of stuff that is still vulnerable to rodents and insects. Anything that's in cardboard, such as all this Indomie in Lucky Me, anything that maybe is in a box, mice or insects can get into it, right? It's not all glass and it's not all cans. I'm doing the best I can, but I'm slowly moving anything that I can that needs to be into either food grade buckets or these clear buckets. But let me tell you what, they're expensive. So I buy them piecemeal as I can. All right, so I talked about space. Space is hard to find. Talked about my shelves. Talked about the bins, talked about insects, and we talked about labels. So these are things that I honestly wasn't, I knew I need the room, but I wasn't thinking too far ahead. I'm glad I made the right choice on these shelves, right? So I'll be honest with you. Having adjustable shelves and having the metal with the wood has been a huge time saver for me. Are they perfect shelves? Absolutely not. You can see in some cases, let's see if I can find an example here, where the weight of the shelf is slowly pushing down. Like here you can see it. So the shelf isn't completely flat, but you know what? It's as good as I'm going to do it. Now the last thing I want to comment, and I saw another YouTuber posting about this, is pantry food doesn't taste as good as fresh food. And that's life, right? Canned food just doesn't taste as good as fresh food. But it's going to taste extremely delicious when there's a problem with food. Okay? So we all know that. However, the good thing is I've supplemented, for example, my carrots that are canned and jarred. I've supplemented them with freeze-dried raw cubes of carrots, right? When you rehydrate them, they come back practically fresh and new. So that's a good thing. Now, the other thing I've been tripping on is in my pantry, I did buy a lot of these MRE type self-packaged meals from China. Now, I'm going to stop buying these for a couple reasons. They do last several years and they are fairly good tasting, but I'll be honest with you, I've ate a few of these just this last few weeks, and I'm not sure that the freeze-dried rice is legit rice. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't come back quite the same as I thought it should, and I don't know. I'll probably just burn through these and not buy any more of them. They weren't expensive at all, and they are tasty, but they are from China, and well, I just can't trust some of that stuff. But anyways, so the video today, primarily I just wanted to talk about things that I never thought about having a pantry, the maintenance of the pantry, right? I'm in here probably 2 or 3 times a week, checking things, making sure that, this box is crumpled, but is it sealed? Is it still good, as an example? Double checking my dates on things, looking to see what I need to rotate through. It's a lot of work. New stuff comes in, I got to put it in the back. And right now, my status of my pantry is things are not all in the same spot. I have stuff spaced out all over. So I'm going to spend some time this afternoon, and I'm going to organize and fix things up. And if I'm not too exhausted, you'll see the results of that next. All right, so I'm back. I did some work. So let me show you what I did. Without moving anything around, I went in, let me off this light, maybe it's too bright here. There you go. I went in and I put the corresponding month and year for things. Now, I had bought 50 of these things thinking that was a lot, and it looks, again, another cost. It looks like I should get, I'm going to order 200 more, right? Because I have a lot of stuff squeezed in all over the place. Now, I did notice a couple things are at their best by date, or a little bit past. Like, so this grape jelly is at 2023. May 2023 is this Alfredo sauce. And the couple other things, some white potatoes, April 2023. And down here, August 2023 is a whole big box of baked beans. All right, so that means I'm going to do some cooking. So the Alfredo is going to go into the pasta, right? I'll just make some pasta, whatever kind, and I'll freeze dry that. And then this big thing of cheddar, that was August 2023 as well. Cheddar cheese sauce will go into some chili mac. I will just open up these beans like I did before. I did a video on it. And I'm just going to pour them into the trays and freeze dry all these baked beans. And what I'm assuming I'm going to do with this, where's the fruit that's done? August. All right, so I got some mangoes that are due and the grape jelly. I'm just going to make some oatmeal, right? So I will cook up a bunch of oats, and I will have grape flavored breakfast oats as well as mango flavored. I might actually put the mango in some rice. I might try to make a sticky rice myself, because I've been curious if I can freeze dry my own sticky rice, since I do actually have a packet of Backpacker's Pantry mango sticky rice, which I'm going to do a test video on, and I'm going to see if I can make my own, right? So I might just do that. A couple other things in here. A lot of people ask me what I'm going to do when this food gets towards its best by expiration date, and my answer is very simple. I'm going to cook it, and then I'm going to freeze dry it, and then it's going to be good for 3 to 5 more years or more. All right, guys, so I did do some more work. I have to order some more of these magnetic things for the shelf. I really like the fact that I can just move them around. If I move something, I can take this tag with me and I can organize my pantry a lot better. So I am going to go ahead and end this video. I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching it. Hit that like button. If you are not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. You know, why not? I have some cool stuff. Go check it out. And until next time, please everyone, be safe. Thank you.